I am here with Amy, and Amy is live in Boston right now with us, and she's having some light issues. She's waving, but you guys can't see. Here you go. There she is. And Amy, why don't you tell what's wrong with your glasses right now?
What's wrong with my glasses? I don't know. If I
Yes.
take them off, can you see better?
No, they're fine. They were fine. I was just kidding. I was just kidding so we can build some audience. The Facebook Live, as you know, takes a few seconds before they say, we're building an audience for you.
Yes.
So
we need people. Come on, people. I see 0. There's a 0 up there.
So why don't we? Oh, there you go. We have 50 now. So hey everyone, I'm here with Amy, and Amy is in Boston. Look, okay, now you can see her better. Amy, why don't you come near, a little bit near? We have a nice painting in Amy's room and a nice couch we can see. And, and Amy, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? Who are you?
Okay, I'm trying to make this bigger. Is that going to work? Hold on a second.
Fine.
No, for me.
Oh, okay.
Because you said there's a reflection problem with my glasses.
No,
So
I was just kidding. Nothing wrong.
Oh,
There's nothing wrong.
You're teasing me. Okay. Hi, guys. So people's comments are literally popping up on top of your face.
Yeah,
Is
that's my face.
That's okay?
Yeah.
Hi, Naja. Hi, Salim. This is cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So tell us, who are you?
Yeah, I want to see. Hi, guys. I'll talk about myself in a minute. I want to know about you. Yay.
Hello. Bonjour. Merci beaucoup.
Mr. Diallo, where are you from? Where do you live?
Everybody lives in Pakistan except Nadia. And Diallo, I don't know.
Well, that's what I want to ask.
I'm from Kenya. Jambo.
He's not from, I bet he's not from Kenya.
Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria. Hello, woman.
No.
No? I don't know if I'm allowed to make fun of people. I like to make fun of myself.
No, don't make fun of people. I bet he's from West Africa. Come on, Mr. Diallo. Tell us where you're from.
He's from somewhere, so why don't you introduce yourself?
Senegal, West Africa. Hi, guys. I'm Amy Carrier, and I'm calling from Boston, and it's very, very cold here, but very sunny today, which is nice. And I am happy to answer all of Rehan's questions and your questions and talk about what I do. And I don't know what Rehan wants to ask. Hi, guys. So I am an education innovator in the United States, and I've also worked abroad. And I'm working with an international team to build a new solution in education to teach job skills. And Rehan and I connected 2 years ago. Is that right?
It's been so long, I don't remember. I had hair then.
We connected at some point when Rehan came to Boston, and it was clear that we both have similar vision for how to empower communities and teach young people the skills they need to become entrepreneurs and successful contributing members of society. So if you are interested in learning more about me, the topic is education and entrepreneurship. Tanvir. If you want to learn more about me, if you want to pull up my website, it is empowermentthrougheducation.com. That in my website so people can click on it.
So, Saiful Haq, do you have any questions for her? Anybody has any questions related to entrepreneurship? We will be doing 10 of these shows with Amy, hopefully. Ah! And then
10.
hopefully
10
we
shows.
can bring different topics within the space of education and entrepreneurship, which Amy has thought about and got us in. And we have a spammer trying to sell his app to us. Thank you, Mr. Ali Hassan Mallah, for trying to sell your app to us while we're trying to teach something.
Are we charging what?
From Baltistan, which is north part of Pakistan. You should Google it. It's really pretty. It's like Washington State. You know,
what is
Oregon
it?
type.
What is it? What am I Googling?
Yawar Muna is saying he is from Gilgit, Baltistan, and he misspells it. Amreen Asif, we're not charging anything here. It's a free show. You can watch it right now, as you can see. There is a fees, however, that's your hard work, and that's your you have to really take advantage, or we will not give you a free advice again. Just like a doctor would not give you a free prescription if you threw away the first medicine. So it's your choice.
Go forth and innovate, build things, change the world.
Yeah. Is the world really broken, by the way? Do we have to change it? That's a good question.
Yes, it is. It's very broken. It's very imbalanced. And there are so many people who are not empowered to use their voices and turn their ideas into solutions in the world. So,
actually, the business model. There is no business model. The business model is we make you an empowered, a powerful, phenomenal, superb human being. So you can go out there and try to do the same for other people. That's the business model.
Yes. And I do this in education so that we can teach young people who will turn around and teach other young people. And in fact, my students over the years have gone home and taught their parents and their aunties and their uncles how they can build their own businesses and create solutions to problems they see existing in the world. And our goal, my goal for these 10 conversations with Rehan is to talk about 10 separate topics that I work with schools and districts and individuals and organizations to teach them how to teach young people entrepreneurship. So essentially, you're getting everything that I know for free, which I try to give out as much as I can. So if you tune in and you watch these, I think we're going to do them every week, right, Rehan?
I would like to get them done and over with.
I think that's a yes. We're going to do this every week at the same time. And each week we'll be talking about a different topic. Disabled children. Disabled children on the screen. What was that?
I don't know.
What is entrepreneurship and how do we start? Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Hey, if I can teach teenage kids how to do this, and then they grow up, and 10 years later they decide to start their own businesses, and they run their own businesses, then anybody watching this can do that too. I promise. And the thing is,
I've been asked to shut up by Naveed Mushtaq, who doesn't have a face on his Facebook. So it's all yours.
So I totally forgot what I said. So teach the teachers, yes. Yes, exactly. And I do have former students who have started their own businesses. Oh, what I was saying is not everyone is meant to be an entrepreneur. Think about it. If the world were full of people who were just starting businesses, nobody would be working for those businesses. So it's okay for you to come to the realization that you're not meant to start a business, but know that the skills that you learn from learning about entrepreneurship are skills that you then apply to the type of work you're doing in the world. You'll have a better understanding about how a whole business works, and then you can figure out what in that business is your role. Reluctant to quit your job. You need to overlap. So you need to be working and then starting your business at the same time. So you do it part-time, you do it when you have free time, and you do it while you still have the income. Does that make sense? Sahid? Zahir has 2 questions. Number 1, how many skills? Wait. I don't recommend, Kamran, I don't recommend starting a business coming up with the idea based on the amount of money you have. You need to be passionate about your business idea or the solution that you are thinking about you want to bring to the world. You have to start there. Don't start thinking about money. Money's important. You will get there. You'll have to get the funding. It's great if you have that much money. Keep it in the bank. You need to do some internal exploration about what it is that you care about and what it is that you want to work on. Because it's only businesses that are built from passion that will actually last. I like that, Saeed. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Absolutely. So that's why you can't start with money. You have to start with your dream. Make sense?
Yes,
Rehan, it does to you. You're the only human who can respond to me, so you have to respond.
Others are bots. Others are bots.
How do you monetize it?
Not everything is for monetization. This is giving back. I recently watched a TED Talk which has been viewed 5 million times, and the TED Talk was that 33% of your time should be spent on teaching. And if you don't teach, you really don't learn anything. 33% of your time should be spent on books, and 33% of your time should be spent on mentors. So
with mentors?
With mentors. So if you don't really teach, your information doesn't become into knowledge. So this, I do it so that I learn more through you guys. And I don't know why Amy does it. Why do you do this, Amy? How do you make money by teaching people on here?
Well, I'm not rich by any means. I do this because this is my life's purpose. I can't see myself doing anything but this. I've tried. But this is what my soul urge is. And if you find your soul urge, money will come to you to keep you afloat. You might not become a millionaire. Like I said, don't set out to build something in order to make a ton of money. What is this?
Money will come.
If you are on track, if you're following what you're passionate about, if you figure out the smart way to do this, so you can listen to some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. I am going to be talking about all of the things that I teach young people they need to know. Entrepreneurship is part of it, but it's part of it. So that's why you can't start with just one point. Like, I have $5,000, what can I build? If you want to build a franchise, you can do that. If you want to invest the $5,000, you can do that. But if you really feel like you're an entrepreneur at heart, that's a different path.
So Lukman Hakim, Mr. Khan, is a really nice guy. I met him in Quetta. You should connect with him, and he is a teacher in Quetta, and he's teaching. Quetta is a small city in Pakistan. It's a capital of a province called Balochistan, and it is the largest province of Pakistan. 47% of Pakistan is Balochistan. So he lives in the capital of that province, which is like a state. and you should connect. And he is already a professor there, and he has good network with the professors.
Hi, Lukman.
So, yeah.
Great.
Hi, Lukman. Thank you for joining.
And he says he's empowering communities. That's great.
Yeah.
How long did it take me? I'm still becoming a successful entrepreneur. I don't see myself as an entrepreneur first. I see myself as a teacher. I'm an educator. So if you go to my website, empowermentthrougheducation.com, you can learn more about me. And I'm not out there saying, hey, I'm the guru entrepreneur to follow. I'm saying, hey, here's how teaching entrepreneurship changes the world. Here's how it empowers young people. Here's how it identifies the unique ideas and solutions to problems in the world that are in the minds of young people and adults. All right, keep this comment up there. I need to read it. Kayani, you are absolutely right. NGOs are using disabled children. They're using a lot of children. There are a lot of Western organizations that use children whose faces don't look like mine to raise money. And I'm not comfortable with that because I feel like it objectifies children and it takes away their right to their own anonymity as children. But they end up being in glossy brochures and on websites as the face of a disability or a cause or something. As per my best knowledge, you had to face these problems in your life. What did you say about me, Rayhan?
I didn't say anything about you.
So how do you know that I have faced these problems? You have to say more, Kayani. I don't really understand what you're saying.
You can answer your question to go take it offline or take it in the next show. We have Per Offling here. Per, I met in I met in Gothenburg, and he's doing exactly what you're doing, Amy. He's a phenomenal guy. I haven't posted his videos yet. Sorry, Per. And he does exactly this in Sweden. So, yeah, he opened the follower function. Oh, he did.
Who is this? It's not the person on the screen I can see right now.
Per Ostling. He's from Sweden, and he teaches.
Teach the teachers. Yes, hold on one second. Right here. Hold on. Keep talking. Teach the teachers.
I'm saying you should connect with him. He's an amazing guy. He's doing the same stuff in Sweden. And Per, can you add her as friend on your Facebook, because you don't add everyone. So now we have met her virtually online. So maybe you can add her.
And if you'd like, you can check out my website before you do that, empowermentthrougheducation.com. And by the way, follow my blog. I also publish a lot of free information and very helpful articles on my LinkedIn account. On LinkedIn, I'm linkedin.com/in/Amy L. Carrier. There's anytime I feel like I'm overflowing with valuable advice for people, I tend to just put it into an article so that I can share it anytime with anyone. What is the best education? You have to say more. What do you mean? What is the best education? Life is the best education. See, that's what it is. It's all how you think. But unfortunately, especially young people, and young people grow into adults who don't have this skill, people are not empowered to believe that their unique set of interests, passions, ideas are valuable in the world. Typically because people are comparing themselves to someone else. And once you do that, you are shutting the light off on your own passion, your own interests. And so if you are interested in the way Elon Musk thinks, that's great. Read more about him. But what is that sparking inside of you? What is that making you see about yourself? Do you have a particular solution for the world? If so, then work on that. See if you can turn that into a business idea. And when I say a business idea, I'm not only talking about for-profit businesses. My work in education is not for-profit. Don't ask me about investing money. I think investing money is really interesting because it's. I think the market is a lot more volatile than people realize, and it's become a game. Who can make the most money? And that's not a fair way for us to exist as humans. It should be a matter of how can I put my money in something that I care about? How can I use that to develop income for myself? Because then I can turn around and give that money to other causes that I care about. Unfortunately, this whole concept has been taken over by very greedy people. And I would caution everyone right now. The world has become very uncertain and very volatile, especially after the elections that have happened in the election that happened in my country. Be careful with your money. Be conservative right now. I should drop by Toronto. That seems like a message. Are you reading?
Yeah, what's the reply? He wants you to go there to Toronto.
Well, I'm not sure if I will be in Toronto anytime soon, but I appreciate that very much, actually. I hope maybe you'll follow me.
Send a charter plane so we can come over, no problem.
Yes, he's the guy who travels.
Yeah. Amy has a disability, so she can't really travel easily, so we will need a special flight for you to arrange for her to come. And then drop her back in the evening. Okay, what's the next question? Here you go. How to get people and money work for you?
How to get people and money work for you? I think you're asking, how do I build a team? And then how do you make the money work for you? Let me just answer the how do I build a team? That's actually pretty much the most important step after you decide what your passion is. You're going to have to find the right people. And don't fool yourself. Nothing is done alone. Nothing is done in a bubble. So you need a team. So my advice for you is to think about, in the whole scope of your business, what are the roles that you need people to take on? Do you need someone to work on developing your financial plan and your budget? Do you need someone to do your marketing, your online marketing, your marketing materials, find events for you to attend and talk at, which is bad grammar. Find events at which to speak. And all the other roles that you're going to need people to play. Write out a plan, and then think about the people that you have in your network right now, and start to fill in not just ideal people that you might want to bring onto your team, but who do you know? This is what Rehan was saying about talk to your mentors, do your research. Who do you know who might know someone in their network who can help you build your financial plan? Add anything to that, Rehan?
There you go.
There you go. Ha ha ha. What was so funny? My bad grammar, and I was a teacher.
There's the next comment.
What is that?
Can you read it?
Lanat. What is that?
It's just not worth explaining what it is. It's just the gentleman is not happy at you. So he's showing a finger. How to develop a good system?
Well, a system is a very broad word. I need to know what kind of system you're talking about.
All right, next question. I'm not at all business minded, but still need to get involved in some kind of business as a partner for secondment. Please suggest.
You know, we have something here in the US, which is a matching event for entrepreneurs and people who want to be on teams. Do you have anything like that in Pakistan?
No. What is this again?
You're the perfect person to set this up. It's a matching event where people who have business ideas go and meet with people who don't necessarily have business ideas, but who want to be on teams. You know, they might come in with the marketing experience or with the finance expertise, and they want to join someone else's team. So it's essentially a matchmaking event where innovators with their ideas can go and build their team. So it seems like So is your name? That would be a great place for you to go and find people who have ideas to join on their team. You guys don't have anything like this? I really think you should set something up, Rayhan.
I do, but people don't take it seriously because it's free, and then people don't want
We
to
have
pay
to
for it.
pay. We have to pay.
And
We have
then
to.
they don't come if it's a paid event.
So we have to pay to attend. It's not a lot of money. I think it's $10. And we have to register online ahead of time. We have to describe who we are, and we categorize ourselves. I think it's like a blue sticker or a red sticker. A blue sticker is, I'm an entrepreneur, I have a business idea. A red sticker is, I am someone who wants to join a team. And some of us have both the red and the blue stickers. But this makes it easier for people to go to events and connect with other people. And then in our registration process, we write what exactly we're interested in. I'm interested in food service. I'm interested in education. So then we all kind of branch out. Our name tags are coded by, green for education. So all the people with the green name tags come together, and then they can see who has the blue dot, who has the idea, and who has the red dot wants to join a team.
Okay, done. We'll do it this month or next month. I hope Imran, Rashad Khan, and Iqbal Trainer are watching this so they can organize it and call you to do it. You can be their teacher and they can set it up in our space.
Okay.
Okay, Sohail Akram, I design and produce business promotional kit for companies. How can I start my business with US companies? That's a brilliant question. Share your website with me in inbox and your Facebook page. Do a homework, study 10 other companies who are already doing this in the US. And I think when you see other companies, what they're doing, you will know what to do. I mean, it's not really that difficult. It's really easy in the US to get started because the entrepreneurs have created a lot of systems and a lot of opportunities for people to go out and buy lists of companies and see their revenues. And it's really, really easy to, if you want to do this, make some mentors. I mean, go in LinkedIn, find the top 10 companies who are doing it in the US, and then find the people who work there, add them on your LinkedIn, make them your friend, then add them on your Facebook, make them your buddies, send them dinner, pizza, whatever, as a gift, or some stuff which you have made, and make friends with them, and they will guide you. What do you have to add here, Amy?
Check out a company called globalizationpartners.com. They help American companies, actually they help all companies go global. I don't have a lot of insight on how exactly they work, but there might be an opportunity for you to make some connections or at least follow that company.
Globalization partners. All right, that's a good one. Which is more crucial to the success of a startup, the idea or the execution? That's an easy one, but go for it.
That's an easy one. What's your answer?
I think ideas today are a dime a dozen. It's really easy, especially in the third world countries and underdeveloped countries, to get ideas, because all you have to do is see the trends in the US and Europe, what's going on, and just copy it. And just copy it with excellence and execute. Execution is a key to success today. It's no longer the idea. When information is beyond grasp, you have a gazillion books, a gazillion websites with ideas. It's the implementation, it's the execution. It's how good can you execute an idea, and how persistent are you with taking the idea from a baby to a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old business. It's just, I think, execution is 98%. As what did he say? What's his name? Edison. Invention, is 99% perspiration and 1% innovation. So same thing, execution. Ideas don't really matter. If you're from Karachi, for example, look at kebabjis, right? Kebabji is selling kebabs. In 3 years' time, they are humongous, huge. There's a queue outside every day for people who want to eat. Pakistan is a 200 million population country. It's like 3/4 of the United States. It's humongous. Every single thing which is available in the US will work eventually in Pakistan. You start small, be persistent, it'll grow. People, look at Careem, look at Uber, look at all these companies which are coming like crazy. Today, I shared an article. Finally, e-commerce in Pakistan is $1 billion a year. That's finally, because it's took forever, because we don't have PayPal and other things. So eventually, it's still finally with Easy Pesa and everything, it's kicking off, and it will double every year at least, if not more. So next year I think it will be at least $2 billion. If not $2 billion, it will be $4 billion, and it will double every 6 months from there. Just look at the trends overseas. Whatever trends are overseas, it will come to Pakistan and Nigeria and Kenya and everywhere else. The world is finally globalized. Ideas are dime a dozen. Execution is the most difficult part. And that's why I tell you to change your friends. People who have a problem in execution, the reason is that they're not surrounded with people who are executors. To change your friends who are executors, steal my friends if you want to. And people who execute, learn from them how to execute and just do it. I mean, it's just nothing to it, just do it.
Yes, that's correct. The stumbling block that people face before execution is self-confidence. So you can have the idea, and it's true that it kind of feels like with ideas right now. And if you have a brilliant idea, that's great. But the two mistakes that I've seen people make is have the idea, but just keep it rolling around in their head thinking that they need the idea to grow or become something more, or it's not special enough. That's a lack of self-confidence. And then the other mistake that I've seen is people have the idea, but they hold onto it so tightly that they strangle it. I remember years ago, because I'm always working in innovation in the education space, I remember a really brilliant idea in education, and I was brought into the conversation. I was. And it was a good idea, but it wasn't earth-shattering. It wasn't like he was the only person having this idea. He was so afraid of someone stealing it that he ended up choking off the entire thing. So if you hold on to it because of fear, or if you hold on to your idea because you lack the confidence to actually take the steps, and most takes along the way to execute on your idea, nothing's going to happen. So build your self-confidence. That's one of the things that I'm going to talk about here with Rehan, because teaching young people self-confidence, that's one of the very first things that I do, and one of the very constant topics that I work with teenagers to develop, because without self-confidence, nobody does anything.
I would agree 1000% with you on this. Everything is based on what you believe or what you think of yourself. So we have a thing here, in Karachi, everybody calls, like, manjan, like toothpaste. Do you sell toothpaste? So I would say if you're selling toothpaste and you don't use your own toothpaste, who on earth will buy your toothpaste? If you don't believe in your idea, if you don't believe in yourself, who would believe in you? Nobody will. So believe in yourself. That's what Iqbal said. That's what everybody said, right? खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा हर बंदे से तकदीर से पहले खुद पूछे कि बता तेरी रज़ा क्या है. You have to build your confidence. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. So sell your idea to yourself, but still execution, action, ideas. And I totally agree with Amy. We have a huge culture of not sharing the idea. The moment I get an idea, I go out and make a video that this is my idea and I'm going to do this, or I'm thinking of doing this. And I get a lot of criticism and a lot of feedback instantaneously. Within a day, I know if I should. I did my survey, like I do my survey, like, so I know if what the customers are saying about it, right? So if you have a bad idea and people shoot you 95% down, it might be a good idea not to execute it. So give away your idea as much as you can, because other people will make it better for you and give it back to you. That's my suggestion on the follow-up.
Yeah. The other thing I would add is you have to differentiate. Traveling abroad, I won't say where, but traveling abroad years ago, I was stunned that being businesses, and they felt like, oh, I can be successful if I open, my business selling this particular kind of food right next door to the other business selling this particular kind of food. And then all of a sudden you have a mile of the same store, one after another. And without differentiating yourself, which means move your business into a neighborhood or a community where you're the only one, without making yourself stand out, and by making the mistake of putting yourself in with everybody else, you can't be competitive. You cannot charge what you need, because the smart consumer knows, hey, I've got a mile of the same product to choose from. I can negotiate to pay almost nothing because they're so desperate. They're all fighting among the same customers. Well, you have to differentiate, and that's a bigger conversation. Raza, be kind. Be kind, all the time, everywhere.
So that's a good question. I don't know how to answer that.
You don't understand about this page? I don't know what page you're talking about.
Neither do I. There's Fahad.
Hey, hi. Hi, Fahad. I'm feeling better this week, finally. Thank you. Me too. I look forward to being there too. I think it'll be fun.
Oh, Kayani. Oh,
Kayani. I see that I'm also blind. I think there was another person writing about programs for blind children. And, Kayani, I don't know if you're tuned into this call because you are interested in entrepreneurship or starting a business or an organization, but you are the best voice and representative for people who have the same challenges you face. Kayani is also a gold medalist. Cool. In what?
In his studies, probably.
Kayani, tell us what you're a gold medalist in. 23 times.
That's a good
How
question.
to overcome self-discouragement.
You answer that to solve the problem of the world. End of problems.
Well, this is what I do working with teenagers. Because our children go through life dealing with all the same stuff we deal with as adults, and we're equipped, but they're still young. They're still children. So they look at the world and it looks like, oh my gosh, why are all these things happening? Why don't people love one another? Why isn't there peace in the world? Self-discouragement. So this sounds like you're holding yourself back. So my question to you, I think, would be, why don't you love yourself? It's a question I've been asking a lot of people lately. Is, if you don't love yourself, how can other people love you? Rehan and I had a conversation about self-love. Because this is what I teach. Children are not taught self-love. Why should you love yourself? The reason you should love yourself is because that teaches other people how to love you. And so if you're discouraging yourself, there's something in you that does not love you. And if you can't see that clearly, and Rehan, pay attention, because here's the answer you want. If you cannot see clearly what it is that you can't love about yourself, look, what do you feel not love about other people? What triggers you about it? What do you feel like you just can't stand about someone? That's what you don't love in yourself. So if you look deeply to find that, and you say, okay, I can love this part of myself that gets angry really quickly, or that cries at the drop of a hat because I'm so emotional. If I can love that side of myself, then I will through every. The most important education currently want is, well, I'm not a Pakistani, so you have to address.
You think what?
I said I'm not a Pakistani, so I don't think that this is something that I can address.
So what do you hate about Trump, Amy? You said that anything you hate about in other people, you probably hate in yourself. So overcome that. So what do you hate in Donald Trump?
Well, person in my life, I'm extremely disappointed with all. It's as he holds this collective human shadow. Everything he says is just the dark side of so many people. I don't hate him. I don't hate anyone. So what I can say is that I have learned over time this, how do you love yourself completely? And if there's something that I in someone else, here, let me give you an example. My relationship with my mother is very close, but we have always had big challenges. And in those moments where my mother is triggering me, I've learned through my years and through my maturity, okay, that thing in my mother that's triggering me is probably something in myself that I'm not loving or I'm not being patient about. And good job, Rehan, trying to bring politics into this.
So the answer to this question, Usman, is the same as what Amy said. I personally think if you think that there is a problem in Pakistan, that you want humanity and you want to fix something, I don't think we can fix anything. I think we can only educate people. And the way to educate there are many ways to educate people. What we are doing right now is educating people. What I'm pretty sure you're also educating in your own way. A lot of people educate by being some kind of person. So you can also be a good human being and it will automatically transcend you into a better person and other people around you. And the third thing you can do is do what I'm trying to do, expose these people to different kinds of people over Facebook, which allows them to interact with different kinds of religion, different kinds of people, and automatically disarms them because it educates them. Sometimes people don't want to be educated directly, but you can indirectly educate them, and that's what I try to do by asking them to connect with people who are not like them or are of opposite religion or even within the same religion, different sects. So by having the dialogue and by having fragmented little bit information about them all the time, they start changing. And I have seen a lot of people change over the time. They themselves have not seen that they have changed, but they have changed. So that's why I wanted to prove the point, and I did the experiment last year and this year, the 500 mutual friend experiment, and it has proved to me over and over that people change just by changing surroundings. And you don't have to do it physically because it's difficult to do it physically. It's easier to do it over Facebook. So the people who you think are religiously sick, I would suggest them that you start adding them yourself as a Facebook friend and having conversation with them, which includes mostly listening. 1% of the talk and 98.9% of the listening. So if you do that, they will start changing because they themselves don't know what they're talking about. In my last video, I was explaining that people come up and talk to me about solution and this and that and religion especially, and they haven't read their own religious book in their own language. So how can they talk about, they're really willing to go and kill someone or at least talk about it, but they haven't read their own book. So I suggest that they have, most of our people who are on Facebook have at least done 10 years of education. So spend a few hours reading one book called Quran in your language so you understand what on earth is God asking you to do. So once you know that and people do that, things will start changing. And again, ask questions, because when people ask questions, people Google, people go and look for answers, and then they find out. So my son, who is 8 today, was asking me.
Oh, happy birthday!
No, it's not his birthday. Did I say his birthday?
You said he was 8 today.
He was asking today about that birthday is haram and not allowed in Islam. I said, who told you that? He said, oh, it's in the Quran. I said, hey, really? Where? Oh, I don't know. My grandmother told me. I said, okay. Has your grandmother showed you in Quran? No. I said, why don't you go to Quran.com, type birthday, and see where it's written in the Quran, and then go to the grandmother, ask her to find it for you. So once you find it, let me know also, because then I would really know it's there. Because till then, you're just assuming things, and which is, in my mind, not correct. Anyway, so the Zarar Saab is back again. What's he saying? But we can invest money for good purpose, for charity, like mostly Muslim people paid money in Islamic method, like zakat, and the people, those are needy. Sure, if you think that's a good investment, go for it. If we shouldn't grow...
Let me say something to that. in business, if you study business, there's something called ROI, return on investment. And people tend to just stop and think about ROI in terms of how much money am I going to get back from investing this $100 in this business. ROI is much more than the money you actually get back. It's the piece you create. It's the children who benefit from the services or the products that you're creating and bringing of your ROI very differently. If you're giving money to needy, absolutely. There's really no better investment that you can make, because no invention in the world, no business model in the world will be valuable if 90% of humanity is.
Next question is, if we couldn't grow in job, career, what chances can we grow in entrepreneurship? Good question. You want to answer that?
Yes. I think what you're asking is, if I haven't been successful this far in my jobs, growing a career that makes me feel like I've achieved someone else's success, then how can I be successful as an entrepreneur? And my answer to you is, persevered this far, and someone like Bill Gates, who dropped. Here's an interesting one that you can look up. My friend Johnny Earl has a company called Johnny Cupcakes. Johnny was not, he just didn't have the ability to complete college. He left after, I think, one semester. And by the age of 27, he was in Inc. magazine as one of their most successful people under the age of 27 or 30 or millionaire. He developed a t-shirt company that sells t-shirts and the message of living a healthy life and living peacefully and just having fun. That's his whole message. And he has this huge following now, and he's extremely wealthy. But he couldn't succeed in the traditional way, even though the college that he went to was an art school. So there are ways that I used to think like, I'm not successful enough because I don't have this degree, which says that I know this about education. But for so many of us, we're here to develop problems that haven't already been developed. So the idea that you need to achieve a certain amount of success in your career so far, it's based on really old and unfair beliefs to keep a few people at the top and a lot more people at the bottom and at the middle. So saying there are many, many examples of people who were not successful. Einstein wasn't successful in school. Have a passion to do something, you can. The measurement for this is your own heart.
Alrighty. I would say that when you educate yourself, when you the reason people don't go in their job is not because that there is no opportunity, is because people think that the boss is bad or the work is bad. I think if you really work on yourself and make sure that the job you have, you try to do more and more within that job and other people's job. So if there are 10 people in that company and you're doing something for every single person, you're going to start growing yourself, and then your company will let you grow yourself. So you have to work on yourself. People think that to grow in a job, you have to just grow in a job. It's not magic. You have to read more books related to your job. You have to have mentors related to your job. And once you have those two things and you start teaching what you already know in your job, you will start growing. It's the same process in entrepreneurship and the same process in job, in my opinion. So if you look at your job as an entrepreneur, what is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur to me is a person who solves problem and uses almost no resources to solve them. That to me is an entrepreneur. He does magic from nothing. And where does magic come from? The magic is in based on information. You take different things from different people, different things, and you just make things out of it. So if you can do that in your job, you will definitely be successful. If you are not, then it's going to be difficult for you to be an entrepreneur also. That's my suggestion. For me, one is outstanding entrepreneur if she converts Pakistan from animal to human. Usman, you should go and look at the winners of the 500 mutual friend experiment. There are over 300 people who have done this experiment so far with us. And we have interviews of most of them on rehanallawala.com/winners. You can watch them and you can listen to them and you can see that these people have transformed from nobody to somebody already. Hi Tarek, how are you? I hope you will share the joke with us. What did you find funny? I need a laugh too. Pakistanis now need to try to start small businesses. I totally agree that everyone, everywhere in the world should starting their own business. I found last time I went to the UK that even the companies are hiring people as entrepreneurs, as contractors rather than jobs. This way they don't have to pay insurance and other things. So, you know, you basically work for yourself based on the KPIs, based on the production you're giving in the particular task. So yeah, that's small business. If you work for yourself, that's business basically. What do you think, Amy?
That's actually happening more here too, that people are working as contractors or consultants, that companies are actually listing positions, job positions that are specifically for entrepreneurs and problem solvers. That's the future of the economy, is solving problems. Even a business needs to hire people who can solve problems that they have.
All right. Rehan, bro, what is your basic aim for Pakistan's new generation? I don't have an aim. I'm not a politically elected leader or of some kind. I just live my life. My goal in life is that everybody in the planet should be able to make at least $1,000 a month, so they can buy the things which they require. And then once they have the things which they require, they can maybe realize that they did not really require the things which they were looking for. And that realization, when it comes to you, allows you to be happier than you were before. So that's my goal. That's my work I try to build, is that I try to see how I can empower the majority of the world to have at least $1,000 a month as income. Everything I do might not sound like towards that goal, but in my mind, I have some kind of connection towards that's what I'm trying to do. Even if whatever I'm doing, I think it ends up towards that goal. What's your aim towards Pakistan's new generation, Amy Carrier?
What's my aim? Well, my aim for the global generation of youth, and I have to say I'm very excited because what I've seen is that young people are more compassionate and community-minded and peaceful and expecting the same from adults than they've ever been before. So my goal for them is to empower them before they turn 20 to feel so confident in their ideas and their solutions to problems, and give them the basic skill set they need to build solutions in the real world, so that they can actually bring their brilliance to the world right now and help us solve so many of the problems that we have. That's my aim.
Nice. Okay. Okay, this is a long question. Saifullah, that's a good idea. I hope you do it. If you have any specific thing I can do to help, let me know. Thank you so much.
Let me say that there are groups already like this. In fact, there are many on Facebook, people who are sharing ideas, and where you can go to get free advice and free counseling and free mentorship. So look for existing communities. I think communities, it's free to build a community online. So people have already done it. Go find them. If you don't find one that fits your needs, build one. I think what's still needed to be developed is something like that matchmaking event that Rehan, you could easily put that together. And then if people like it, you could make it here it's a monthly thing. I think only 10 months out of the year. So that's the type of tangible mentorship and connecting event that you could build.
Okay. Amreen is saying that she likes the idea of your matchmaking thing. I also really like it, and we will definitely execute it. Thank you, Amy. At least one thing came out of this.
I think a little bit more than one thing came out of this.
All right. Do you still want to continue? It's 12:09. I mean, are you hungry or you want to take a break?
Me?
This will go on forever if you went on. These people don't just, I don't know where they just keep coming. You have to call your quits whenever you're ready, okay?
I'm fine if there are, I mean, as you know, I want to talk about education. So
go for it.
My goal, having these weekly 10 conversations with Rehan, is to talk about the 10 major different content areas that I am building for my new business, which I encourage you to follow that. It's called the Big Education Project. But also follow me on my website, empowermentthrougheducation.com. Follow me on my Facebook page, not just my Amy Carrier page, but my Empowerment Through Education Facebook page, because what I post and what I write, what I talk about is around these 10 different content areas. And those include teaching financial literacy to children, teaching how to get a job, so how to write a resume and develop your online footprint and go to an interview, how to network, how to give professional presentations, how to do career planning and think about your future. These are all the things that I have spent the last 15 years of my life teaching young people. And now my goal is, through the Big Education Project, my goal is to get all of this online in an interactive platform that allows teachers to communicate with one another about how to best support each other. So those topics we will talk about in future conversations. Are there any more questions that are specifically related to education or entrepreneurship education?
Well, I'm a slow reader. Are you able to see all the comments on your wall?
No.
Is that a no or yes?
No, because I'm not in Facebook. I'm on Be Live.
On Be Live, do you see all the comments?
No, they pop up, but then they disappear.
Okay.
Yes, I can. So I can see the there.
When you see they pop up next to it, does it show and hide, or it doesn't?
No.
Okay. So this is a question from Rahmanullah, and he's saying the Pakistanis don't understand the importance of business. We only know how to search a job. I think I don't agree with this. I think being an entrepreneur is on our DNA already, but we are more inclined toward traditional businesses rather than adding value towards older business. So that's what the challenge is. And when the newer generations come and give ideas to older people, oh, daddy, I want $1,000. Do I want to start this business? So they get discouraged and they are told, no, you better go and educate yourself at least first. And being an entrepreneur has nothing to do with education, which is given in the university, for God's sake. So you have to go and become an entrepreneur and do a business as an experience, not as a job. So not in the university, I mean. So um, I don't agree with this, but maybe around your surrounding, that's how it is. I grew up in a business family. I know that it's in our DNA. Memons, Dilliwalas, Chiniotis, they're doing nothing but business. And you can change the same. I mean, like for example, in the US, people would say more Chinese do business or more Jewish people do business or this people do business. It's just that they're surrounded with those kind of people. If you surround yourself with more entrepreneurs, you will become an entrepreneur. Amy.
Yeah, let me say something about this because I see it very differently. What I talk about here in the United States is the fact that, and when I work with my older clients, I have adult clients who still need the same skill set. They've been taught the same way their parents were taught how to get a job. And it's the old archaic version of you go online, you look for a job posting. Back in the day, it used to be go in the newspaper, look for a job, send a resume. That's not how to find a job anymore. And more people are going to be selling their personal skills through their own small businesses. So I think what I'm seeing here is the importance of business versus knowing how to search for a job. There is this idea and there's this cultural imprint that has been made, I think, in many countries around the world, that you're either a worker bee or you're a business leader. And I am doing everything in my power to break down that assumption because it is separatist and it is classist, and it suggests that only a certain number of people will know how to build businesses simply because, Rehan, simply because your parents knew how to do it. But there are entire groups of people who have brilliant ideas within those communities who have every right to start businesses. And you are right that the education system has not taught you. It sounds like in Pakistan and here in the United States, you have to go to school you have to go to college or university for business or an entrepreneurship degree. And what I'm saying to you, I don't have an entrepreneurship degree. I've never taken a business class. Everything I've learned, I taught myself. And then I've taught students. And I'm very, very good at it. So yes, you know how to search for a job. If there are skills that you have learned from that you can apply to selling yourself as a valuable asset to another business, then use that as your approach to searching for a business. You are valuable. You have a skill set that's valuable. How can you market that skill set as a part of your job search or as a part of developing a business?
Alrighty. Question. I don't know if you want to answer that.
I'm not going to answer that. Okay. I want to give that person a hug.
Hi, Tariq Faridi. Since labor Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Since labor is relatively cheap in Pakistan, is there a way to connect business in the US that need rugs, embroidery items, pottery to a reliable company in Pakistan that links connected on contact of skilled labor that can make different goods? Tariq, there are 43 chambers of commerce in Pakistan. You can Google them. Um, I will try to make a new website for this called rehantrading.com, and you can go there and you can find all the chambers listed over there and all their presidents listed over there and all their information listed over there. Again, rehantrading.com. Give us 3-4 days or next week, we will give it to you. One. In the meantime, you can Google the chambers. Strongly suggest Sialkot chamber and Karachi chamber, and hook to go to jamals.com and Google, and then just Google them. And tradekey.com and alibaba.com is also a good website for finding these small businesses. Sialkot would be your best bet. If you inbox me, I can connect you to somebody in Sialkot because I know it's the entrepreneur city of Pakistan. Every second person is an entrepreneur there. So definitely you can find people to do anything there. You want to answer anything there, Amy?
I do. So here in the US, people really like items that were made abroad, specifically cultural items. I'm looking around my living room and I have many items that came from Africa and from the Middle East, and we appreciate culture that comes in the form of artwork from other places. So there are a lot of, I would say you could do a Google search for places in the United States that sell things like rugs and pottery. There are a lot of free trade companies that are specifically creating an online platform, and we have lots of storefronts here in the United States where people's goods are being sold. So do some research in the US and look for the people who are those brokers. There's one that I'm trying to think of and I can't remember the name of it, but it's essentially free trade for arts and supplies and crafts made by people all around the world.
Okay, Rahmatullah has a question. Rahmanullah, sorry. The Pakistanis want rapid income in a week, in a month time.
Who doesn't? But we all have to work for it.
You're done?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
See, the thing about, no, I'm not done actually. The thing about making money in a week or a month, that's great, but you're not going to make a lifetime's worth of money in a week or a month. So you need to actually set up a business or a system for yourself so that you can have the income that you need or that you want to make each week and each month. Because just achieving that goal, oh yay, I made $2,000 in 1 month, I'm great for the rest of my life. No, it's as long as we live, we need to eat and sleep and have clothing and make money. So you want to develop a system and an attitude toward how you can make money and live comfortably. Now I'm done.
All right. So, Rahman bhai, whoever you think wants to make money in a week, tell him to take a seed of a mango or an apple and plant it in front of their house and call it that business name which they have. And as the tree grows, the business will also grow. So till there is fruit in that tree, I don't expect that business to be flourished. If they are not patient enough, complain to God. Hey God, it's not growing fast enough. Please do something. Or whoever is in charge of growing the trees. Gurham Khan Baloch, hi.
Hi.
Okay. Mr. Toronto is back. I hope the plane is landing soon. And he's saying this, you can read it.
Yes, I agree.
Okay, you want to read it for us?
No.
Okay. Um, a world where everyone is selling similar product. How important is customer service for business growth?
Oh, absolutely.
Alrighty. Oh, man, this is a lot of work. There you go.
Answering questions.
Oh, here's the next one for you.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. So one of the problems, by the way, with this interface is that are overlapped on top of other things. I just had to wait for a comment to go away, and now can you put that comment back up? See, that person who just wrote NON, that comment comes up over what I'm reading. So when you give feedback to this company, you can tell them.
Okay.
So I think you're asking how do we build a new culture in Pakistan? And I think I mean, I don't know a lot of entrepreneurs or innovators in Pakistan. I know Rehan and a few people that he's introduced me to, but it's up to you to actively build the events and host the conversations where people are starting to think in a more innovative and proactive way. And yes, you can look at the trends that are happening in the world. You absolutely should. But it sounds like, if I understand this correctly, then you go back to Pakistan from Abu Dhabi and you feel like nobody there is talking about these things. My city that is second probably only to Silicon Valley in the United States for innovation right now, especially social innovation and biotech. We've made our city a city that is based on the culture of entrepreneurship and innovation. We have events constantly. People are always meeting people, and our city, which is, it's not a big city, but we're so connected. People seem to know everyone because everyone goes to these events and learns who else is doing what in the innovation space. Did that answer the question? And you're welcome, Iqbal.
Alrighty. Here is your next question. Favorite question.
Yes! Definitely tune in to our 10 phone calls. They won't be as long as this one. This has been really long. I'm going to talk through how I did that and how you can do it. And because I believe in teaching the teacher and empowering not just teachers, but also parents and mothers how to develop these skills in their children, I will be giving you some insight from my years of experience doing this so that you can take it back to your classroom if you're a teacher, or back to your own children or the children in the community. So please do tune in for that. There's not a quick and easy answer, because you're not just teaching adults how to become entrepreneurs. You're teaching children how to develop a brand new mindset. To me, it's much more exciting.
Why don't we just answer this question and then we can call it a day?
That's the question I just answered.
Okay. All right. So thank you everyone for tuning in. Amy, do you want to continue or?
No, I think I'm all set.
Okay. So thank you everyone for.
I answered that question by saying there's a lot to that answer, so you should listen to our other conversations. All 10 of them.
My answer to Yamin Malik is go to rehan.com/startup. I have a 10-minute video, 7-minute video, which explains how to start a business in 10 minutes. Start, 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 start. Just start it. Don't worry about failing. The faster you can teach your children how to fail, the faster they will become an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship is not about success overnight. It takes time, it takes patience, it takes persistence, it takes perseverance, it takes so many English words that I don't even know the names of. So you have
Get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yes, there you go. Easy
to
one.
fail. And teach them that failing is the best. Don't be afraid of failure.
Yes. So, and unfortunately, in school, we are not taught that failing is okay. So, failure is something which unfortunately is not taught. I will have a curriculum book out soon which explains how to start a business again in 10 minutes. The purpose of that book is to allow people to learn fail faster, quicker, and at an early age so that they don't fear the failure part, because this fear is inbuilt in all of us at the school level. Oh, you failed that class. Oh my God, you're disgusting. We need to get rid of that. Once you get rid of that, you're set. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Amy, for your time. Amy.
I want to direct, thank you, but hold on. See, you and I can talk forever. We've already seen that. I wrote a great must fail, and it goes a little bit more deeply into what happens to a child and connecting it to what our education system has done to teach children what Rehan just said, that failure is a bad thing. So go to either my website or my LinkedIn profile, empowermentthrougheducation.com, or linkedin.com/in/Amy L. Carrier, and look for the article called Children Must Fail.
Wow. Alrighty. And thank you everyone again for tuning in. I will announce the next one with Amy as soon as Amy gives an okay. I would rather have it done tomorrow, the second one or the first one. This was basically an introduction call, so we can show you how it's done. Amy, are you up for it one tomorrow at 12 o'clock your time?
Tomorrow's Monday. No, we're gonna have to schedule.
Okay.
We'll schedule the same time each week.
So make sure everyone, you have shared this video. Okay, I'm waiting. Share it. I'm still waiting. Share it please now. 1 second. Click the like button. There's a small little button called like. Click it. And then you have to add Amy, and you can click add Rehan if you like, my bald head. And what's inside also, by the way. And you know, make sure to tune in and keep tuning in, and look at Amy's wall and my wall for the next one round on this conversation. If you have any serious question which you have spent an hour looking on Google and you couldn't find, you're more than welcome to inbox me and inbox her. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Have a great day. Have a great night.
Thank you guys. Bye.